I bought my apartment in Spain 3 years after arriving from Cuba and thought it was already mine, but nope. You have to pay a lot of things. In Spain, you never stop paying taxes. New things, new expenses that add up to my bank account. I'll explain everything in this video, so spend the day with me and let's discuss it. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing great and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anita Mateo, I'm Cuban and I live in Galicia and this is my channel. Subscribe, like, and join me as a Cuban woman sharing my life, adaptation, and progress in this country. The things I like, the things I don't like. So, well, subscribe, give it a like, and all that, if that's how you say it. Subscribe, like this video, and all those things that are super important for this channel to keep growing. Well, I'm here in Coruña, I came. Actually, there's a Christmas market here. The reviews haven't been very good, honestly, about the Christmas market. It seems like people haven't liked it much. I don't know, tell me if you're from here in Coruña, what do you think about the Christmas market? But anyway, since you're watching this video, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2026 because this is going to be the last video of the year. And I'm going to talk about a topic that's quite interesting because, as you know, I bought an apartment here in Galicia. I bought my own place. You can see everything in this video. How did it go? I haven't shared my monthly payment yet, but I'll reveal that later. For the mortgage, whether I pay more or less than rent, and if it's worth it for me. So keep watching this channel's videos. But today we're going to talk about something I didn't know. It's all the responsibilities that come with buying a house because it's more than just the purchase. Oh, I bought the house, so now I'll be calm and peaceful forever. No, it's not like that, sweetheart. Buying a house involves many responsibilities and paperwork I never knew about. When I bought the house, they told me, well, now you have to do this, and this, and then you have to pay this tax, and that one. And I feel like I'm never going to finish paying for things, but well, I'm not going to talk about any of that. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything I did once I bought the house. All the things you have to do, the taxes you have to pay, because I think once a year you have to pay a certain tax. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. Well, as you saw, I was at home relaxing and I said, I'm going to check out the Christmas market here in Coruña. Let's see how it is. Because I saw a lot of very negative reviews online, like people didn't like it and maybe the city isn't that pretty or decorated for Christmas. I also feel a different vibe. I feel like it's missing a bit of light, some sparkle, even though it's daytime. That's just how the Christmas market is. They used to set up an ice rink here. People would skate on ice. I feel like it was a bit more fun, but I don't know. What do you think of this Christmas market? I'll let you comment whatever you want, whatever you think. And well, that's it. I've managed these procedures for over a month since I bought the house. A while ago, I made some videos and compilations of how things went, and I'll show them to you. I'll walk you through everything I did after buying the apartment step by step. By the way, I don't know about you, but I feel like I don't experience the holidays and these important dates the way I used to. I'm talking about people who no longer have their family close by. I used to always spend these dates with my grandmother, with someone close to me, some family, almost always. And ever since I emigrated, I don't feel these dates are so special anymore. I just feel like it's another day. I honestly don't care much about it. I don't really plan for the 24th or the 31st. Thinking this is a really important date. I know people with their families still view it as important, celebrating and having dinner together. In fact, today I'm going to have dinner with a family. I won't be alone, I'll spend it with a family. They're from here, Galician, and they're going to welcome me. And I'm very grateful to them because they're a family of someone close to me. I feel like if I wanted to, I just don't feel that spirit anymore. You know, of parties, of family, of love, of I don't know what. Since coming to Spain, I feel like I lost that. Now it's just another day, another dinner. It's a little harsh to say, but honestly, that's how I feel. And well, I just hope to get that feeling of family and unity back someday. Let me know if you feel the same way. Well, I'm going to keep looking around the Christmas market to see how it is and take a walk around here, and then I'll tell you all about it. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. And well, yes, now I'm going to tell you about some things I didn't know and that I discovered once I bought the house. It wasn't easy, and here near Carvallo, where I live, there's a beach. I bought an apartment in Carvallo, a small town. Many people may wonder why you bought it in a small town instead of a city with more opportunities. Well, Carvallo is a town that's actually quite big, growing a lot, and it has many areas around it. For example, Raso has an amazing beach. I mean, look at this. People surf at this beach. It's the Amorte coast. It's just beautiful, and a lot of people come here for summer vacation. They have plenty of options. I mean, you don't necessarily have to live in a city to have things to do. You can live perfectly well in a small town, and as long as you have a way to get around, you can visit different places. For example, I chose Carvallo because it's a small town. Carvallo is known for being a bit complicated for certain reasons. You can look up things that have happened on the internet and all that, but so far, everyone sees life the way they live it. I see my life as pretty calm, pretty peaceful. I'm at home in my own world, and I try to stay as calm as possible, and that's why I chose to stay there. As I already mentioned, besides, it's a town I already knew. I already have my close circle there, my friends are there, and I didn't want to go somewhere else and start from scratch, okay? Once I bought the apartment here, in the apartment I bought, which is my lifelong apartment, well, there were so many things I had. First, I had to change the water service since it was still under the previous owner's name, so everything had to be transferred. At the notary, they give you a paper confirming it's done. It's not the property deed in your name yet, but it's a document stating the house will be transferred to you. In fact, it's been a few months and I still haven't received the property deed. I still don't have it in my hands. But I did receive a letter, a paper that says the house is already being registered or has already been registered in my name, and then I will receive the official document. But, well, the notary is basically the notary, so they give me a paper, and I have to take that paper everywhere to change everything to my name, so you have to transfer everything to your name. I went to Gestagua, the water company, and put the bill in my name, so it now comes to my account. Because before I used to give the money to the owner of the house, the bill was charged to him, and then I would give him the money too. The electricity. I didn't have to change it to my name because I had already contracted a service and it was already in my name. The gas was also in my name. All those things were in my name, like the utilities, things like that for the house, and the phone is also in my name. I didn't have to do anything about that. I just had to change the water to my name. But anyway, just so you know, when you buy an apartment, you have to go to each place where these kinds of house services are and put everything in your name. So was all of this free? I don't think I had to pay anything right now. I don't remember, but I didn't have to pay anything. You only pay for the service when it comes, when they charge you. Now I'm here in Spain, and I didn't know I had to pay. This really caught my attention. And there's this famous community fee. Do you know what community it's for? They just told me I have to pay it. I asked, what's a community fee? I had no idea about it. Yeah, the apartment owner used to pay the community fee, so as a tenant I didn't pay it. Now that I own the apartment, I am responsible for the fee. And what is the community fee? The community fee is an expense you pay for cleaning the building, elevator maintenance if you have an elevator, the entrance, common areas, and the building's insurance. And this is not something that's optional. You can't simply refuse to pay this. You must pay it whether you use it or not. So, well, I had to go to, I think it was another agency. That day I recorded myself to make the change, and that's when I found out how much I had to pay for the community, and it turns out I have to pay every 3 months, every quarter of the year, 100 euros for the community. Participation is mandatory, not optional. So I've already paid actually this quarter's community fee, which was for October, November, and December, and it's already paid. I didn't know it was 100 euros, my love. It's just another expense. That's something you do realize, that here you have to pay for everything, you have to pay for so many things, and it's something I didn't know. I learned this gradually because, as I said, owning a home isn't just, oh great, I have a house now. More things and activities mean more responsibilities. I've noticed the more you have or do, the more responsibilities come with it. You know. And about the responsibilities, now being the owner of an apartment means I have to pay the community fees, I have to pay them quarterly, 100 euros plus expenses. I think I need to make a video about my new expenses as an owner since things have changed, but I already did it. I have to pay 100 euros this quarter for October, November, and December. Oh my goodness, so much noise for nothing. Adult responsibilities you begin taking on. Anyway, I did the paperwork. I think I've already changed my whole name. I don't know if there's anything left, but wow, there are so many things I didn't know I had to do. Well, that's it. It's almost sunset. This beach must be super cold now. Obviously, no one is going to get in there, but it's really nice to just come and look at it, to spend some time. Some cafes are nearby, but they're closed today for Christmas. Still, I don't regret my decision. I'm truly grateful for this opportunity, as I said, and have no regrets. If I need to pay for things, I will. Even so, I'm still paying much less. Well, I'm not paying much less. But I'm saving compared to what I used to pay monthly. Because yes, I'm going to pay a mortgage, but it's less than what I paid for rent. As I said, I'll share that in another video, not today since I need to stretch the content. That way I keep you hooked on the channel so you'll want to know. And yeah, I didn't know this about the community, but well, these are things that exist, things that happen, and things that come with being an owner. Well, I'm gonna head home because I'm already a little cold. I'm feeding Phoebe, and for those wondering, here's her food. I gave her this monthly food for Joe box, and it's delicious natural food for her and Phoebe. Very happy. Hi, today's a new day. It's already the day after Christmas, and I took the opportunity to record today because look at how beautiful the weather is here. This has been happening for a while, and I think the weather made me a bit depressed. Yes, the weather affects you. I used to say I like the rain, and I do, but after a month of rain, honey, I'm already taking vitamin D because I think I have a vitamin D deficiency, so yeah. Let's keep discussing this topic outside so I can get some vitamin D, which I really need right now. This is something that many people commented on in the video where I bought the house. And yes, when you're a homeowner, it's not like you finish paying taxes forever, not at all. There are taxes you have to pay every year for being a homeowner in Spain, and that's the Impuesto sobre Bienes Inmuebles tax, which is the property tax collected by the city council. Whether you live there, it's empty, or it's your main home, doesn't matter. It depends on several factors. Based on what I read online, when I pay it next year, I'll share my experience and the amount I paid. The internet says you must always pay it, and the amount depends on your city, neighborhood, and the property's cadastral value. And, well, that's something the real estate agency explained to me, and they told me once I bought the house that I had to pay that tax every year. Now, I also read about another tax where even if you don't rent out the house, the tax office assumes the property provides you some benefit. And you have to pay an imputed real estate income, and this is paid. It's declared every year in your income tax return. Honestly, I have some doubts about this. It wasn't explained to me very well, but I was reading about it on the internet. It's as if the tax office said you have a house, it gives you something, so you have to pay this. Honestly, they didn't really explain it to me. I'll let you know when I do my tax return if my manager explains a bit of this to me. Honestly, there are a lot of things I don't know myself. I'm not an expert on this topic. I'm making this video so far based on my experience with what I know and what I don't know, and contributions are always welcome, your contributions. I'm sure many of you know more about this topic than I do, and if you can, please help me explain a little bit. Alright, I'm explaining to you what I know so far, for those who are not familiar with this topic. As I said, I'm not an expert, just an ordinary girl taking small steps in a country that's not hers. Here, alone, moving forward, and I'm just sharing my experience with you. So, let's keep going for a walk. Phoebe, yes, let's go. By the way, it's really cold, and of course, I'm here next to the river, but today the sun came out. Still, I feel like it's much colder than when there's no sun. I'm not sure what's happening. It snowed a lot in several parts of Galicia, and I saw online that some neighborhoods got snow, but mine didn't. But I wish I could see it, although maybe not, because then I would be way too cold. I'm already complaining. I already want to escape to a place that's a little warmer. I'll keep walking, Phoebe, for a while, then continue at home, talking with you all since there's much more to discuss. Another thing you have to pay is insurance, home insurance, and this is actually mandatory. I'm paying for home insurance offered by Sabadell Bank, which also provided my mortgage. But you can get this insurance either through the bank or on your own. I think that from what I saw, if you get another one, it could be cheaper if you get your own insurance from another company. I don't know, but the bank offers you home insurance, and if you use the services the bank offers, this lowers your interest rate. What does it mean that you will pay less money in the long run on your mortgage? So I don't know if it will be more feasible for you when you buy your home. Getting the bank's insurance to have less interest or getting your own insurance? In my case, I have the bank's insurance, I have the one they offered me, and that's it. That's another expense you have to make with the house. I think the insurance is also paid yearly or something like that, I'm not sure. What does home insurance cover? Well, home insurance covers things like fires, damage to the house, water damage, and civil liability. It covers some things that can happen in your house, things that could damage it. This insurance covers those things for you. That's why it's very important, and I think it's even mandatory to have it. Also remember, you no longer have a landlord. From now on, you're responsible for anything that breaks in the apartment. I mean, before, if I had any problem, for example, if I needed to paint or do something, you would call your landlord and they would be responsible for it. Not anymore, now the house is yours. That means anything that breaks is now your responsibility and another expense to handle. For example, I have some things I need to fix in the house that were broken or needed to be done. And before, I used to call my landlord and say, look, I have this problem. And he would say, okay, we'll see when we can fix it. But not anymore. Now it's up to me. Actually, there are a few minor issues I never told the landlord about. Now the house is mine and I have to fix things I need to take care of, like some of them. This floor, kind of like wood, is a little raised in some areas because of the humidity. All of that is now another expense that's in your name. It's no longer someone else's. I mean, being an owner. Now I feel an enormous sense of freedom. I feel like, wow, I have my own house. I'm no longer afraid of being kicked out. I'm no longer afraid of being left without a roof over my head. But this is more responsibility. I think it's more responsibility than renting, honestly. The more you have, the more responsibility you take on, since you're fully accountable for what happens. Keep in mind that not everything can be freely renovated. Right now, I can't just do whatever I want and renovate this house and build a terrace and do whatever I want freely. That's not how it works here in Spain, and I don't think it's like that in any country because every country has its own rules and regulations that you have to follow. In fact, many things. You need community permission, as I told him, or permission from the paid community or the city council. It depends on what you want to do. For example, someone told me that one of the neighbors wanted to tear down the facade to change the facade of the building. She can't do it by herself. She has to meet with the community, with the neighbors, and reach an agreement with all the neighbors. We haven't talked about that yet, we haven't done it, but it was a rumor I heard from the landlord who told me, one of the neighbors. She wants to change the facade, and when that happens, we have to negotiate, we have to talk with the community, everyone has to agree. So, it's something I haven't faced yet, but at some point I'll have to deal with these kinds of things. And with the neighbors, even though right now I'm not really someone who talks to the neighbors or interacts with them much. Honestly, I'm someone who likes to be at home in my own space, But at some point I'll have to do this and talk to the neighbors. And actually, there are specific hours for doing this kind of work, and you can get fined if you don't do things properly. That's why, since I'm from abroad, since I'm a foreigner, I have to make sure I learn about everything here. Honestly, many locals don't know these things either. But being from abroad, I feel I need to be much better informed. And even more so because every country is different. And in my country, there were people who would build a house on top. They had a house with a concrete roof and would build another house above it. Here, it may not be as easy. You need many permits and more. That wasn't true for me, but it might be for others. I bought the apartment where I was registered. You may not know, but when you arrive in Spain, that's the main thing to do. One of the main things is to register your address. So if you buy a house and move, you have to change your registration, your bills, and everything to that address. I didn't need to do any of that since I already had everything here. I made this video for you because it's important to know buying a house involves more than the purchase itself. And just like I myself maybe thought, it's much more than that, and you have to keep in mind a lot of things and a lot more expenses that you're going to have. I mean, the mortgage, home insurance, and community fees are all expenses. Owning a house is a big responsibility for everyone. It's always going to be like that, and these are things that maybe, for example, me coming from outside, I didn't know about. I didn't know, and I found out about all this once I bought my little apartment here in Spain. And well, that's it. This is the end of today's video. I hope you found it super interesting. I enjoyed researching this to share with you, though I had already done it for myself. After buying the apartment, both the bank and the real estate agent explained everything to me. I got a lot of explanations from many places, and it was an overload of information like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But no, I don't regret anything. For me, it was a really mature decision, really grown up, really good. I feel calm even though I'm stressed about other things because that's just life, that's it. Wishing everyone much happiness in 2026. May your dreams come true and everything go well. I'm excited for 2026 with many plans and goals I hope to achieve. Remember, anything is possible with focus and effort. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a prosperous 2026 to all. I hope to bring you a lot of new and varied content that you'll really enjoy this coming year. I try all the time, I'm not going to lie to you. At the end of this year, I've been a little bit sad, a little bit overwhelmed. I want to see my family. Maybe I'll visit next year, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm at that moment right now where I'm planning everything I'm gonna do next year and I'm feeling very nostalgic. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way instead of happy. These last days of the year, I feel a little sadder than usual. I don't know, it's like I have a lot of thoughts about my life in Cuba, about my family being together and all that, and I know I'm not the only one. But anyway, nothing. Whoever can spend it with their family and be together with them, I hope you have a really, really great time. My family is coming to celebrate the 31st, the family I have here in Spain, which are some cousins, and well, I hope to have a really great time with them. Sending a big kiss and see you next year in the next video. Bye!